All right, it's the motherfucking Nerd Rap podcast, and I do have um salute the guest for coming on. I want you to introduce yourself, let people know who you are. We're gonna get into it.
All right, so my name is Chris Curtis. I'm the CEO and the head writer and producer for Crystal Inc., which is a independent comic book publishing company that I made 3 years ago. Um, that's basically it. I don't really got nothing else on that.
Hey man, shit man, salute to have you, man. Just to let you know, I like to make it a point to focus on Black creators, and just because in our space, just to show how it's a lot of us in this space
Right.
who just tell our own stories, who just want to just tell some dope shit. Like I don't want it to be a spectacle that we do it, like because a lot of us create, like you create. I've seen so many people, and what got you into just wanting to tell like I see a manga aesthetic with one particular series, but I see you dart t toward the more American um style and more manga style. Like what got you into just wanting to make your own stories?
I've always been a creative person. I just when I was in high school, I wasn't able to get into writing professionally. My parents wouldn't let me do it because Uh, it wasn't a money centric thing, so I left it alone.
Yeah.
But during when COVID struck, like everybody else, everybody needed outlooks, and so I kind of was sitting around like, well, I'm getting paid from work, but I got nothing to do, so I need to go find something to do. So I started going back to my old hobbies, and I realized that hey, I can go back to writing again. So I started doing um like web novel stuff. And then I
Okay.
kind of was like, I would like to instead find a way to do a more physical media thing. And so I looked into making comic books and then looked into it, then started doing it, then started getting a whole team on me, and then,
Right.
we're here now. So
Okay. Okay. I always like to ask like when people assemble their teams, especially when authors try to find artists, um, how was the process for you? Was it like kind of rough? Did you go through some hurdles to get a good team together? Or was it like a
oh man.
easy
Yeah.
process for you?
No, very beginning it was a shitty process. I had what I assumed was some people, and then it was like it was not a first time. It was like I'll work with you, maybe not. I'll work with you, and maybe not. But I was around so many people that were doing it off to the side that we ended up kind of like having more validity with each other. And so it was like, hey, you and me should be on this. And then they agreed. So my main art team was actually a couple that I've known for a while who are genuinely very good at what they do, very prompt, very professional when it comes to the business. So we can establish and work with each other very well. So far that's been my one and done. Now I work with other artists on side stuff, but on my main stuff, it's just these two.
And I always say that's the I always like to ask that because I'm gonna tell you that do or die is a good
Yeah,
team. It it's do or die.
100%.
And so I was looking at jazz specifically. I do want to hear other stories as well. And because I did ask a few folk, I wanted to at least get an idea of what you're creating. Very solid just from the style that I saw.
Mhm.
And do you have a particular aesthetic you try to go for with your stories, or do you, because I know you got a few projects, so do you just dart
Right.
around and just doing different genres and testing the waters and stuff like that?
Yeah, so jazz was like the very first thing that I wanted to do after
Okay.
this is like very early on. If I can go back and change a lot of things, I would.
Okay.
But jazz was my first foray. I sat around a lot of black groups, black discords, Twitter spaces, everything, and I kept hearing about them wanting more black representation in manga. And so I sat there and was like, okay, cool. That sounds like you just need it to be done. And then that's an easy sell. So I made jazz. This is probably one of my like most embarrassing side stories, but I made jazz to sell to that demographic of people who
Oh
were who
man.
were who were loud about we want more of this, we want more of that. And I was like, cool, bet. So everything that you see in jazz well, starting off was just that. I gave you your black characters, I gave you your black female lead, I gave you all that, and I gave you something that had weight. So I'm thinking like this is gonna be easy as hell. And I had so much backlash because I wasn't established. I wasn't Toriyama. I wasn't Oda. I wasn't a big company. So those people were like, "Oh no, that's cool. I'll wait for the anime. No, that's cool. I'll wait till it gets big enough." I was like, "Yo, like what the fuck?" So as I'm
Oh
trying to sell
man.
to them, there's a side group of people who don't look like me that are jumping onto this stuff and being like, this is amazing. So after a while of me trying to butt heads with these people, I was like, well, let me go and work on the people who actually like this stuff. And that's where I've been growing it. It's a story that is akin to Malcolm X, where he was a black nationalist. And then he went over to the Mecca and saw that there were Muslims of like all colors. And so for me, it was like instead of trying to push to y'all, I'm gonna go push to an audience and then go from there. And that's kind of where I've been at so far.
To me, and I feel that's important when it comes to like doing black representation, is that I feel like there are some people because me, I'm a guy who when I did a lot of my stories, I made it explicit. I like see niggas and shit, man. I'm just that guy. I just grew up in Baltimore. We wanted to
Right.
be in Lord of the Rings. We wanted to be in things. So like I just do that for the
Hmm.
fanboy in me in the 90s, right? But I do feel there could be sometimes a pressure for your story to be revolutionary every time. Where sometimes, bro, like, everybody ain't making Shakespeare. Sometimes B movies exist. And
Right.
I like B movies. B movies with genre films. Genre films that could just exist is just a good time. This is a good
Right.
time I'm making here. I do feel the balance because I don't want to get into politics, the Malcolm X thing, the analogy uh of that. But I will say sometimes there is this pressure to be a version of something that's like kind of insulated because Islam is a worldwide religion. You got
Right.
Asian Muslims. So it's a more broader message of being peaceful and a good human being than
Right.
me being 10 toes of I want to be the best representation of the black community, but at the same time I'm I'm like it has to be the greatest story ever at the same time. Like why can't it just be a dope time? Why like
Right.
does it have to be Toriyama level for you to fuck with it?
Well, with them it does. And they want black stories. They want all these black cool characters, but they want them to do it. They don't want me to do it because I'm not that big enough for them.
Sometimes COVID, man, what happened is a lot of people were bored and came
Yeah.
into like nerddom spaces. So like when you're a fan and shit, I don't wait for things to be fire to be dope. Like if you go to like if you're an anime fan, and a lot of time they reference you things you never watched.
Right.
Because to them, they don't care that you didn't watch it. That's what I watched as a kid. That's like the dope to me. So that's what I would consider a classic to me. But if
Right.
I don't need it to be popular for me to like it. And I do hate that in a
Yeah.
modern space of comics. Do you think so you think now after that experience, when you tell your stories, what influenced you as a writer to go forward, now? Like,
Just when you change your audience to a more engaging audience and you get that actual feedback, that inspires me to, to keep going. So
right.
I mean, I know that there's a big black comic book debacle going on right now, and I've been watching it to the side, and I'm just kind of like, that's tough, but I can't get involved with that, because that's not who I am. I make things that a specific audience can enjoy. That audience could be white, black, Asian, women, men, gay, straight. It's like if you are fucking with it, then you are fucking with it. And
Yeah.
it's not about making a thing for everybody or nobody. It's just a fact of I make it for a specific mindset. And it doesn't matter how you look, you can enjoy it. It's like
I dig that.
prime example, everybody loves Black Panther. But when you let a black writer do Black Panther, he stays in Wakanda. his entire storyline is in Wakanda. He goes nowhere. It's a nationalist story. But when you let a white guy make Black Panther, he goes to space. He leaves Wakanda. He has an actual outside adventure. And a lot of those stories are what are deemed much better because it's not tied down to the country, it's tied down to the character. Some people might feel different, but those are the ones that like sell the most.
Yeah, that might be a little subjective because Tanashi Coates definitely was geopolitical, and that was like Eisner winning. But
That one was good, yeah.
and like me, like if you're gonna use that in that analogy, I think it's what I can like. I may disagree in some points, right? But I
Right.
can say that I can understand that Black Panther is a character that works both ways. And I just think the problem is that you have some characters who work in a political landscape and some who don't. Black Panther is he's a king and he's a superhero.
Right.
Geopolitics is gonna come in, but every time, yeah, I want to see him go to space, my nigga. Like
I
sometimes
just
I want to see this nigga in Mars. Like sometimes I want the story to just be about some dope. Like Luke Cage to me, every story doesn't have to be political because he himself is an indestructible, bulletproof man. He
right.
should be fighting titanically strong Ubermen all the time. Like a Luke Cage comic should just be an excuse for this powerful man to battle powerful beings and us to enjoy him being challenged by the powerful things. But
Right.
the moment you get a black man and he's bulletproof, we have to make analogies to police violence. And it's like, okay, the first well-written one, I respect it. Cool. I don't want that to be every time we put this man in a comic book,
The book.
it's just a political analogy. Because at a point, I do just like this guy. Like I do just like his power set. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's why I think that grifter space sometimes really colluded these conversations. Do you think that like and I'm just asking it for the sake of the dialogue now, because I don't want to be in politics, but I don't want to avoid it either, kind of shit, right?
It's
But
there.
it's one of those, right? Like I just don't want to avoid it either. Um, but do you feel like with comic books and the debacle with godhood and all that whatnot, do you feel it's like an overt pressure for people to like be outward with their political stances? Or do you feel like some of it's warranted if it's given you supporting an extremist ideology? Do you feel like it can exist? 'Cause I feel one moment comic books inherently political. On another hand, I feel that comic books, can be at least somewhat neutral as long as it's being, 100 in its politics. If you're gonna be neutral, don't lie about either shit. Just shut up.
You're right.
Like, just shut
Um,
up.
in that aspect, it's just like food. Can I have sirloin? Yeah. Could I have ramen? Yeah. Sometimes they have to be available. You have to be able to provide both. Marvel used to make very hard story comic books where you have to pay attention. You have to read across so many other series and books to catch a whole narrative. And then there are times where it's just fast food style. That's the versatility that a lot of comic book writers need to do, is that I don't need to have a hyper focus. Give me something that is easy. Um,
Hmm.
but in terms of the whole politicalness, I worry less about that and more about is if it's entertaining. Comics have always been a form of political messaging. It always has been.
Yeah.
Superman was 100% a political thing. Captain America was 100% a political thing. Even Batman was. You just have to make it entertaining and let it fall to where it needs to fall at. If you focus too much on it, you may
Yeah.
deem to alienate people who would read it, but then they feel like it's getting preachy.
Yeah, cause I'll tell you right now, I consider myself somebody who's left leaning. But when I was doing comic books, man, it was rednecks who would be liking
Hmm.
my shit. But like, I don't hide my political stance, right? But at the same time, I don't.
Right.
When I make my books, I do just want it to be good. You know,
That's
I think
that's it.
if you see how I structure a world or like what I, fighting against whatever, you'll obviously get where someone's political stance will be. But I
Mhm.
do feel like I a lot of people are wearing their politics more than their comic books. And listen, I stand for certain things. I don't I disagree with certain politics, but I also don't want that, like, while we can disagree, we are both comic creators, and I am
Mhm.
here to watch comic books. So like, I'm gonna just be honest where I stand at. You gonna be honest where you stand at, and if your shit's still good, I'll still give it credit for being good. Like it's not gonna be like, man, that shit ass. Cause like I don't like what he believe in. I'll be like, hey, I don't agree with his politics at all. But like, just reading this
Yeah,
for what it is, hey, this shit kind of fire. It's unfortunate. I don't like politics, but this shit dope. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like
exactly.
it's dope shit. I,
Hey,
you know,
people don't fuck with Chick-fil-A's politics, but they like Chick-fil-A. So, you know,
it's one of those. If you don't fuck with it because of their politics, listen, stand on that business. I agree with you. But at the same token, I'm not gonna lie to myself just because it's made by somebody that's morally questionable to my standard. But
right.
just to focus on these comic books
That's all
because
I need.
you know what I'm saying? I don't want to focus on any comic book. We had went there, I didn't want to avoid it, so just for the sake of convo. But
No, no problem.
yeah.
And
And
I wish that type of civility was more. That's all I've been asking for.
listen, bro, one thing about it, if I just disagree with you, bro, I just do. And it's what it is. I'm not about to lose my oh my gosh, I don't like you now. Like, all right, here's what it
Man,
is. But at the same time, I do want to focus that after the jazz issue that you made, and you started focusing more on just engaging with just creating stuff you want to do.
mm,
Um, is there another particular series that you feel you really found your like, I'm really in my zone in terms of writing some shit?
yeah, actually, because I'm actually shipping these out right now. So this series right here, Dream Match Revolution,
Mm,
is which we just shipped or we just printed off chapter two, but that one is probably my actual flagship. Some people will disagree because some of them like the other stuff, but I've been trying to tell people this is my claim to fame. Like jazz is cool, but Dream Match is my baby. Like that's my favorite one.
okay. Okay, like you don't tell me more about it. What was the inception like?
Oh, all right. So
You
Dream
got
Match
you
Revolution,
got the cover. Let me see the cover again. Just so
yeah,
we
I got the other one here right here.
okay.
So yeah, here's one, and then here's two.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, that artwork is slick. Yeah, that artwork is
So
nice.
Dream Match Revolution is a simple underdog story. It's a rookie wrestler who joined a women's wrestling league just to wrestle her idol. All she wants to do is wrestle her idol. Her idol is, of course, the champion of this league. And to wrestle her idol, she has to rank up to get to where she's at to have a chance to qualify to wrestle her. The issue that she has is that her general manager is trying to keep the status quo and the power structure where it is, and does not deem it appropriate to have this rookie get to wrestle this the champion. So she puts her on a do not win clause. Every match you have, I need you to get other people ranked up. When your time is coming, your time is coming. And so she's on a really hot losing streak and is about to give up and realizing that I just can't do my dream. And she has a chance meeting with the champion who tells her the only way to wrestle me and to achieve your dream is that you have to start winning. You have to start winning.
Yeah,
And she tells her, well, if I start winning, that's going to upset the general manager, and she's telling her, if that's your only obstacle, then you never had a chance to really wrestle me in the first place. You're here for no reason. So she begins this streak of winning, and so now she's going up a hill to achieve what is considered a dream match, and now she has to go up
okay,
against somebody who's trying to stop her for every step of the way. And when I made this story, I work in the school systems. I've been working in the schools for 10 years.
right.
And I've had this convo with so many kids that were like, I want to do this thing, but I just can't because it's always something that's so arbitrary. And so I was like, what if I make something that can inspire people to look at the wall of defense and realize that you can knock it down. It's not that hard. You can knock it down. You can get over it. So Dream Match Revolution is literally just the message of nothing should be stopping you to achieve what you want. And a lot of people have read it and came back and have been like, okay, yeah, no, that's dope. That's cool. So that's my flagship for that.
Well, comics always work at the best when it comes with like a core message for like
Yeah.
perseverance or whatnot. Because you gotta persevere. Even if it's not gonna make it better, damn it, it got a better chance at least pushing forward than dwelling.
Right.
So I can definitely agree to that. I do notice the passion you got behind this joint. So like, were you an Ultimate like Muscle fan back in the day?
I was one of the only ones in my state. I knew I was. I knew I was.
When you were describing, I'm like, yo, I'm feeling like Ultimate Muscle. Like I'll be telling people I'm a '90s baby.
Right. I
So
was too.
when people describe stories, I know what you was watching when you was thinking. It's like I just feel the energy
That
from
was
it.
my
So like,
thing, man. I used to. You guys watch it, man, because that was on Fox Kids, and don't nobody was watching Fox Kids around here but me.
no,
A
I'll
hundred
watch it.
percent.
Listen, but I was in Charlotte. That's why maybe I always say everybody's black nerd experience is different. Because I was in an area where like we all was some geeks. Even the street niggas was geeks. Like we
Yeah,
all was some geeks. So like it was like we always watching Four Kids and Digimon. Cause I remember back then that was the only thing good on Four Kids was Digimon. Cause everything else dub was trash. Like
that's
the One
true.
Piece dub was trash. The
Man,
it was doo doo.
don't. You said the thing I've been saying for years. Everybody's been talking about One Piece has always been like, I'm like no. When it
No.
first came out, it was about to be canceled. I
O
remember that
over here in the States,
it was
we
about to be
didn't fuck with
canceled.
one. Yeah. And
No,
now when I remember when we fuck with One Piece was because the sub was coming on the internet and we were
yeah,
seeing how much more violent it was, how much darker it was. That's
right.
what started, then some of us would die hard. But even then, y'all didn't start fucking One Piece till Wano.
Look, you saying what I was saying. I got crucified last year for saying that.
Yeah, like y'all didn't start fucking One Piece on Wano. Like, even though whole new the time skip, like I was here. I was here since Water 7. Like I say,
Right.
Water 7 was when I became an actual fan of One Piece. Um, do you feel like and I always feel like I gotta be careful when I say that about no who are real fans and not. But do you feel like when the COVID came and others that like you had a level of people who were just casuals, kind of like they were not casuals in the sense of like they weren't fans of the movies. Comic books became popular, but now the comic books may not be as popular.
Mm,
They're no longer fans of comic books. It's always, I want the movies now, or I want the anime, or I'll support it when it gets bigger, or it'll be that narrative when it's like, but I want the comic book to be good. Like, do you
mm.
feel that kind of hurt the indie space? I feel the indies are having a resurgence, in my opinion.
They
But
kind of are.
yeah.
Has it? It hasn't hurt as it looks. Like those people are going to be those people regardless. They just show up just to have a opinion.
Hmm.
But the people who are willing to buy in are there and have been there, have never left. You just have to provide them with something that they're willing to buy in on. And I think that's the thing that people struggle with making comic books is that you have to look at what people want and then you have to incorporate that or don't. But if you don't, then you run the chance of not being able to get the people that that you want, in your books. But yeah, this whole thing of COVID brought people that wanted a certain thing. They've always been here, and they wasn't gonna go nowhere anyway.
Yeah, because I'm a fan in the medium. So like
Right.
I just like genre things sometimes. And so you came with the new Dream Machine. I got on your link tree and I saw a free web comic you had. It looked like a sci-fi cyberpunk type of thing. Um that
Oh wait,
that that caught my eye too.
you talking about Braveheart Exile?
Yeah, 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 I think so. Like it gave
This
me.
one.
Oh yeah, I saw that shit, boy. That shit was looking
Yeah.
hard, bro. Like I want you to brag about the series, right? So we got the first one with Jazz, we got the Dream Machine. Like, let me know what you got. What inspired you? What created you? What was the energy?
So Braveheart Exile, if you so you guessed with Dream Match Revolution that I was into Ultimate Muscle. So with Braveheart Exile, you have to guess what was my next inspiration. It's another anime. Here, I'll pull it back up. Matter of fact, here, let me show you the variant cover. Now, where was my inspiration from?
Oh yeah, yeah, what Gungrave, Trigon.
Trigon.
Uh,
So I was literally was like, because so there's another creator who is his name is Isaac Fox. He has his
okay.
own outlaw star inspired comic book. And so me and him have been cool for a while, and I love his series. And I was sitting there going like, damn, I wish I could make one. And then he goes, why are you wishing? Just go do it. And I was like, yeah, you got a point. You got a point. Let me go do a very short series and go see what happens. So Braveheart Exile is the my absolute love for Trigun. I got all the Trigun omnibuses on my shelf in the back over here.
Mm.
I just love
So
Trigun.
you had Trigon Maximum. You actually read the
I got
actual.
Maximum. I got
Okay.
all of that. And so I haven't watched the Netflix version all the way through. I cannot get through it. I'm trying. I'm trying my best. I can't get through it. So
It looked dope to me. I know
it
it's a
looked
lot
cool.
different. Yeah, I know it's different from the comic, but I'm a fan of like if you do a variation, it doesn't really bother me too much because like as long as
It's a
it's good.
variation.
Yeah, if it's,
I'm
I
trying.
got the original. I think if you can separate, if I got the original and you see something new, like the new thing is like just a what if to me. Like what if someone else
Yes.
made it? So I just treat it like
That's
that.
that's me and the Cowboy Bebop live action because I actually like that one a lot. I like it a lot.
A lot of people said they liked it, and I'm like, I didn't hate it when I watched it. I just never finished it. So I think I'm gonna tell you what's fucking up the culture. A lot of people are not actually watching these things they have opinions on.
There you go.
And
There you
and
go.
and like for me, if I disagree with a lot of niggas' politics. So if I don't watch a movie, I don't
Right.
have an opinion on it because I just ain't watch it. So if I don't fuck with you, I don't watch your products. So I don't have an opinion to say that movie ass. I wouldn't know.
Right.
I wouldn't know. But
No,
a
these
lot of
people
times,
wrong
if I say something garbage, it's because I actually like took my time to watch it, and
to
I'm like,
look at
man,
it.
this is pretty decent. But then I'm like, nah, that ain't making no sense. Like
No.
I finally watched Stranger Things. I never watched Stranger Things, so I never talked about it.
Uh,
I finally watched Stranger Things.
you
It's
came in
not for
late.
it's not for me. I think I wouldn't have bought the hype when it was going on, in my opinion. It wasn't for me.
No. And
No.
honestly, it wasn't for me neither, but at the time that it came out, I was such a, oh, this thing's out. I gotta go watch it. I'm not anymore.
Yeah, I'm real, and so I do feel that that does hurt people trying out new series because like I'm now with Global Comics is out. That's like been the funnest thing ever. I just be randomly just checking out comic books and shit. I don't even be knowing I'm reading sometimes. I'm like, what is this? What is that?
Right. Do you have the Global Comics sub?
Not the sub. I just got the
Okay.
free version now. You know what I mean? But I'm really just waiting until I'm moving right now, so I ain't trying to. You know what I'm saying? I need my
No
coins.
expenses. I know how that is. But
Yeah. So.
no, so going back to Braveheart.
Hmm.
So Braveheart Exile is a thriller comic series. The main character Zara Vermillion is being accused of murder of a government official, and
Mm.
so she's trying to prove her innocence. The issue with that is that the official was killed with her gun. She has to prove that she didn't do it.
With
So
her
it's
gun.
a with her own gun. She just happened to have it. She found it. The guy was dead. She asked questions. She got, so it's one of those like, well, how did she not do it? She's right there. So it's a four-issue series. I think it's either four or five. Two's coming out later on this year. It's my very first full colored comic that we've done.
Mm.
And it happened to be the one that resonated with like a lot of people because people like color, people like all this and that. Um, so it's been like a highly favored series that we've done. And like I said, it's very Trigun inspired. So you'll see a lot of the Western cyberpunk aesthetics
Oh
and
yeah.
things of that nature. But no, people love that one a lot. I like that one a lot too. This is a side project where I was like, I need to try something different to go see how I could branch out. So that's another good one. I don't have we have a mature one. I don't have the book here because I sold out of like out of that one. That one is called Good Blood Money,
Mm.
which it's a
That
18
shit.
plus rated.
That shit sound gangster.
It's 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 one of my other favorite ones. It was me trying to see if I can do an 18 plus rated comic, and I found out I really could without losing sustenance because people get to 18 plus and it's like, cool, I need to get, gratuitous breast, I need to get blood. It's like you can have all that, but it needs to be a narrative. So,
Yeah.
so Good Blood Money is about a a military burnout who takes on the life of a assassin to pay for her brother's rising medical bills. He's been diagnosed with a terminal illness, and so she believes that she can end people's lives just to save one. And so the whole branching question at the end of the book is how many people can you kill to save one? So you get to see her kind of go down this lineage of somebody losing sanity as they're going about this. And as they're doing this, she is going to upset the natural order of a actual assassins guild in her city. So what she believes is something so innocent, it's another branching, narrative. Also a
Mm.
very short series. So that's another one. I wish I had another one. I don't even have a copy of it. I thought I
So
did.
so when you're putting your IPs together, like, because I've always said I notice a lot of people try to focus on making multiverses and interconnected universes. It seems like you're treating these like just doing one shots.
Yes and no. So
Okay.
so every story that I've done is somewhat tied to itself. Dream
Mm,
Match Revolution is in the same city as Good Blood Money. And sometimes the
okay.
characters will not the characters themselves, but like certain side characters will come together in some fashion. It won't be like a, oh, you're that person. No, but if you've been reading my stuff, you'll recognize them. But it's not something where you have to read the other one to, like, to even get who they are. If you see them, you see them. Um, and then Braveheart Exile is a futuristic story, so it's past everything that I've done. Jazz is in a city by itself, but it's in a neighboring city with the same city of Good Blood Money and Dream Match Revolution.
But-
So these are all tied together in some fashion.
And we are back. I do apologize about that. Nerdrap podcast. I just had to handle some shit. Now, no, want to get into want to get into just asking more. And I didn't mean to say, because I know you said some of these stories are interconnected in just the settings, and just maybe certain characters may pop up from, you said, Good Blood Money to the Dream Machine. They may be in the same city and stuff like that. Um, do you try to make them stories that, while maybe in the same universe, they're just so distinct from each other that they're like their own. It's like they're separate stories, but they have small threads that keep them together. Is that something that gives you the space to do what you want, or what was the thought process in doing that?
When I started doing this, I didn't want to alienate people that were following one story that weren't going to follow another story until later. So I want to like reward people that were following all the stories,
Mm,
while not trying to make people have that FOMO. So it's kind of like if you've seen the Defenders on Netflix.
yeah.
And so those are all interconnected stories or characters into one whole IP. But if you look at Luke Cage in his own series, there's a different language, there's a different direction versus when he's tied to Jessica Jones.
Hmm.
So seeing that is like, all right, cool. So when he's by himself, they'll say nigga this, nigga that, right? But then when he's on the Defenders, he don't say none of that. Um, so that's just a prime example of just being like, hey, on his own thing, this is what's happening. But when they come together, they're just there just for like an
He on,
Easter egg steak.
he on his own show. He on the block.
Right.
He on the avenue. But when
So
he with the defenders, like he at work.
that's what it is. So I've tried to do some of the branching so far. One of the key characters in Jazz shows up in Good Blood Money 3. Um, so if you've been reading Jazz, you'll be like, okay, cool, that's so and so. And then another character shows up from Jazz 1 and Jazz 2. He shows up in Dream Match 2. So it's kind of like hey, if you've been paying attention, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
But it's just small Easter eggs here and there.
No, I dig that shit. I think that always gives people the freedom to breathe when
Yeah,
like people like I talk to people all the time. I'm making a comic book series. I'm making a comic book series. It's like I got this interconnected universe, all these spin-offs and side stuff playing. It's like, bro, listen, bro, please, bro, just make the first one. I
just
have to like the first one. Like
that's all that is. I was around people who was still planning, still aspiring to make a comic book, and I've been like, you and me were at the same level 3 years ago, and you're still trying to plot. You're still trying to. I got like 7 books out. Like, what the hell are you doing? Like, get up here with me.
yeah, I mean, I will say, everybody got their time. Some people are in the moment where they're ready to execute. Some people ain't there to yet. Everybody's not gonna be there.
Nah,
I think you should. I think people should just worry about just finishing one good story, and it may take you forever, but that story may be the shit when you done. You
right,
know,
right. And
some dudes you can crank that shit out like it's hotcakes. Like,
you can, but like one of the things that I've realized over time is that your like very first story ain't gonna be the best one. So you definitely need to branch out and take what you've learned over time and then keep going until you get a really good one. Like I like Jazz a lot. It's not my best one. It's my longest one so far, but it's not my best one by any metric.
I could personally say Jazz was, I was reading through it, but, I wanted to at least get a feel of like just the type of story that you make. But like Jazz was pretty solid to me when I was reading through it. It was a good setup. I like the design of the characters. I mean, these are legit mangas. You know what
Right,
I mean? And I'm a genre guy. Like if we're making like something that's like a homage to like just 90s battle shonen with wrestling and even just like good 90s action period that's more
right,
seinen or shoujo or let's do it. Like I'm gonna appreciate what it's trying to be, even if it's not something I'm into. Because if it does it good, then it does it good.
right.
You know. So I do appreciate the fact that you have 7 series. Again, I respect the work. You know what I mean? I make comics my goddamn self, and I draw them, so it takes me a little second, but I still be putting them out. But it's dudes
Right.
I started with who said they was gonna drop their shit 10, 15 years, and they still talking about, yo man, I'm still trying to get the first panel, first page right. And I'm like, I done drew about 1,000 pages of comic book at this point. I done you know what I'm saying? So it's like I do get that where it's like at a point you got to stop talking about it. You just got to like just
You
do
just
it.
gotta do it.
You're
And
never
you
gonna have the perfect first story. That ain't gonna
no.
happen.
And I learned that shit like on the fly because I remember being like, Jazz is my magnum opus. And I said that like 3 years ago, and then we hit chapter 3 last year, and I'm looking at it and I was like, damn, I really do like Jazz. But I'm also looking at Dream Match and I'm looking at Good Blood Money, and I'm like, but I like these a lot better because it's such a cleaner narrative to me.
Yeah, I mean you learn it. I mean it's man. Listen, man. I put out my first joint, but people don't know I got like 10 or 15 of these bitches I've been tinkering with. But like I
Right.
needed to test the waters. Like I need to know if y'all like anything I do first. So let me
That's
try
all that
this.
is. Well, and that's what led us. So we're working on a superhero story this year.
Mm,
It's not a series. It was supposed to be a series last year, but I decided to just make it to a one shot. And if it goes a certain way, then I'll turn around and make it into a whole series. But I typically I don't like the superhero genre. I really don't like indie superhero genres at all, like the most, because they're emulations of established characters without the actual backing and the foundation of what makes a hero a hero. So I was like very jaded about like me doing it because like I hate the genre. But I was like, I think I have enough experience to get into the genre at the very least to attempt it because I might be wrong, and the best way to find out you're wrong is to go do it yourself.
yeah. I mean, this may be the best story that you had at the moment,
It
but
it might,
then, once you do it, you say, let me try something else. And now you're reflecting all the things you didn't do. Now you get into you're less exposition. You're introduced in the story more creative way,
yeah,
more cool dynamic characters, interesting personalities, more interesting setup, something a little heavier, a little darker. You may try something a little more zany, a little more wild. You get that freedom to do so because you actually tried something before.
right.
No. Do you feel that a lot of people try too busy to be perfect in this space versus just doing it? Or do you feel that it takes a level of perfection to get the notice that people think they deserve for their series?
People, I don't think people try as hard as they really could in terms of what they do, because it's a lot of stories that um have the notion of something bigger than what they are. But then when you look at it, you're like, cool, what are you trying to say? What is your overall message? Where are we going with this? And they thrive on spectacle more than they thrive on trying to make something worth saying. And that's once again something like jazz for me was more spectacle than it had something to say. It has something to say because it's an anti-government story, but it didn't have as much to say as like Dream Match does or Braveheart does.
Something more personal, something more like, yeah, I got an overall good message, but like I do want to say something specifically
Yeah.
that's to me, So I
But
do get
but
that.
right, but like for them it's like why should I when I can just make an emulation and people will buy it because it has that recognition of another character, and then that's kind of where they're sitting at.
So with this new superhero story you're gonna try, like is it more of like a subversion of the genre or like I think I asked another creator, that's gonna be my question going forward.
Yeah,
Is it a love letter or is it a subversion? Because both can be done very well if done tactfully creative, obviously, right? But
right.
what would you consider that to be?
Um, it's a little bit of both. I know that people are jumping into like anti-hero stuff right now with like the boys and Invincible and everything. This story, which is called Kill the Idol, Save the Girl, is about a paranoid woman who witnessed her inventor parents being killed in like a freak accident, and her dad's whole thing was he was trying to make a invention to make people's lives better. And he was not one for accolades. He was not one to get himself on billboards. He didn't want to be recognized with like, with awards. He just wanted to help people and to generally get people to accept help. He was one of those kind of people. So he and his wife die in a what looks like a random explosion. And 10 years later, a actual superhero emerges onto this city. And she has the billboard recognition, she has all the plaques, she has the big statue, and her whole thing is she's trying to help people, but she's getting recognized for it. It is not on the same level as the main character feels like as her dad was. So her going through a freak accident and realizing that now there's a superhero going around, she doesn't trust this person because this person does not follow what she deems as what a hero is. And she's a damaged person because of this. So her only claim that she has is to depend on her girlfriend, who, by the way, is a super fan of this hero. So she feels that there's a danger lurking because she once again has not been properly assessed of what's been going on. And she comes to the conclusion that I might need to kill this hero. I might need to kill the idol. I call it kill. It's not kill the hero. It's kill the idol, save the girl. I'm so damn. But so with that being said, that's exactly what kind of story it is. And people might look at it as like I'm trying to attack the genre, and it's like no, it's just somebody who generally is ethically, unethically, afraid of this unknown thing, which by the way, her parents were killed by an unknown thing. So that's all she knows. And if the story does go on, there's a twist that I wrote in here that would be amazing to finish out. But I wanna do it as a one shot and see what happens.
Right. I mean, I think there's always space for us to play with the genre more and to actually do interesting things with it versus always trying to stay true to tired tropes. Like
Right.
people try to stay true to like, well, it has to be this, it has to be that. It doesn't have to be anything you don't want it to be. You want these motherfuckers to be morally bankrupt and just
Do it,
work for the highest bidder. Just be honest in the story. Don't try to make one of them, he's a good person in a flawed system. Hell no. Don't,
man.
no.
That's
All y'all.
that's that's one of my things. I hate when we have heroes and villains, but then they'll turn around and humanize the villains. Sometimes you just gotta have bad people, and bad people gotta be bad.
Sometimes dogs is evil. Like I don't want to know why the galactic ruler of the cosmos really was just like an abandoned orphan who like was like mad. He got yelled at in class one day, wanted to annihilate the world. I don't give a fuck, bro. I don't want to hear
That's
about I don't give a fuck about none of that.
none of
Uh,
that.
They'd be
No.
like Thanos was a morally reasonable. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't give a damn.
Right. But so in this story, I will say that the hero, there is no alternative motive for her. She really is just somebody with a mysterious origin who came to Redgate City and is your average superwoman. She just happens to be in a city with somebody who is pissed that this is not a hero to her.
Mm.
So it's one of those kind of stories.
I do definitely want to be interested in that, man. Listen, I done followed you. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely gonna be tapped in. Um, I do want to follow up more on the series Dream Machine. I said you said you like jazz, so you might get more jazz, might get more Dream Machine. I definitely like this superhero story that you're proposing as well. Where can we follow everything you got going on? Do you got a website? Like, what's the?
I had a website a while ago. I stopped paying on it a while ago because half the time I wasn't making enough money to keep it up. Um, so as of right now, I'm most active on my Instagram, which is Cristyle underscore Inc. INC. Which people have been like, Inc. stands for, for incorporated. And I was like, yeah, no, I actually rebranded it last year. Inc. stands for Indie Native Comics, which is I'm from Indiana, so
Okay.
I am a native here. I've been trying to do a lot more local comic book stuff here because I realize that we don't have anything up here of that nature, and if we do, I don't see them. So,
Right.
but definitely get me on there. I'm on Twitter sometimes, Crystal Inc. I'm on TikTok. Once you find one of my socials and you go in my bio, all my other ones are right there.
Yeah.
But if you want to get all my funny skits and because I do a lot of like Instagram shit all the time. So I'll make a video here and there. And I might make a video on my series. I might make a video about manga itself or anime.
Yeah.
Uh on my YouTube channel, I just hit 1 million views on a Saints Row short, which I've never hit 1 million on anything. So
Shit, man, you definitely got me beat, man.
well, I will say this as somebody who's always wanted 1 million views on something. I'll never do that again. And not because of my nature. Those notifications are hell. Those it's so
Mm.
many people talking and I'm like, okay, cool. I can't handle all this right now.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
I'm real I'm really like I'm kind of like to myself a lot. So when I get notifications like that of people like, noticing who I am, I get frustrated because I'm like, yo, damn, quit talking to me. So
yeah, man. That's
But other than that, no, like just my Instagram is much better. And I got my artist. My artist is I didn't say her name earlier. It's the team of SK6, which is the team of Ash Kahari and Vice, which if you guys know Monsters We Make, they just got put on to volume 2, 3, and beyond
mm,
as side artists. So the artists that I work with go on to do bigger stuff. So we kind of like
yeah.
branch off back and forth. So that's what they've been doing. But no, it's just me and a group of people doing what we do, doing what we love. And I'm just glad to have talked to you about this, man.
Nah, man, definitely, man. I just wanted to spotlight just dope creators that are in the space. Just give more of a platform for us to kind of to be able to talk our shit. Be like, yo, man, I'm doing this, I'm cooking like that.
Right.
And definitely. I don't want to take up too much of your time, because I gotta get started with my kids and stuff too as well.
Shoot,
Um,
who you tell? I'm looking at mine right now.
I already know. But I do appreciate you. And definitely I'm gonna tap in with you. I'm gonna chop this video up. I'm gonna start putting these out in the next few weeks.
Okay.
But we definitely gonna link in if you want to talk about any more books you got coming out, just reach out to me. I'll do another interview with you, bro, man.
All right. Thank you, man.
All right, man. And it's Nerdrap Podcast. Salute to everybody tuned in, man. And I hope y'all enjoyed the episode.